The National Freedom Party says it has not entered into a coalition agreement with any political party apart from its stance to work with the African National Congress in KwaZulu-Natal. This comes after speculation that the party has entered into an agreement with the South African Rainbow Alliance. Officials held a press briefing to announce the party's political relations in Durban. For more on this, we speak to Newzroom Afrika's Ntando Mnyandu to just give us a sense of clarity. What's going on here, Ntando?
Well, Duduzile, as you correctly put it, we've just witnessed a very brief press conference by the National Freedom Party here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The briefing was chaired by the General Secretary of the party, Mr. Canaan, Mdletshe, who outlined, some of the positions of the party. It stands on what the IEC did in terms of disqualifying them to, participate in the next general elections scheduled for next year, and also some other issues, as you would know, that the NFP in recent times, it has been characterized by a lot of infighting, factionalism, and some court battles, with today's press briefing stemming from a court ruling of last week Friday, or the 17th of November. That court outcome or pronouncement at the Pietermaritzburg High Court was in defense of the leadership that was elected at the National Conference of the NFP, which was held in 2019 in Ulundi. So the applicants in this regard, wanted, to enforce, and cement that leadership as the legitimate structure of the NFP, nationally. And you would know that the party also just recently held, its provincial conference in Newcastle, I think on the 30th of September, electing, new provincial leadership. But the infighting in the party, remained intact, with the party, right earlier on today announcing that as much as there were widespread speculations, that the party has, decided to go to bed with South African, or SARA rather, to contest next year's election. But to elaborate further on the stance of the party now going forward, I'm joined by the General Secretary of NFP, Mr. Canaan Mdletshe. Mdletshe, thank you very much for your time. What is the status of the party as things stand?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. As the current status of the party following the judgment on Friday, the National Executive Committee that was elected in Ulundi in 2019 is at the helm of the NFP. And we are quite pleased with the judgment, but it doesn't change the fact that we have always been at the leadership of the party, although there were issues from our other comrades. But on our side, we have always been the leaders because we knew that there is no court that will come to a different conclusion. Therefore, we are happy about the judgment, but we must indicate or emphasize that there is no winner here. It was the NFP that won on Friday, and that is why then we are extending an olive branch to every member of the NFP, to each and every leader from the branch level right up to the national level, to say, please, let's come together, let's work together. This is the opportunity for us to reunite, in particular ahead of the next year's elections, which are going to be very crucial for the NFP. Therefore, we are excited. We are hoping that each and every member of the NFP is going to heed to the call, and we are going to be united, because we have to forge unity at all costs in order for us to do well at the next year's elections.
We are touching the issue of next year's elections. The IEC disqualified you from participating. You are intending to enter into negotiations with the IEC. What will be at the heart of your representation to the IEC so that it reverses, its decision to disqualify you from participating?
You'll recall that one of the reasons why the IEC suspended the NFP was the issue of leadership dispute. Now we are saying there's no longer a dispute over the leadership. It is clear based on the ruling of the court that the leadership that was elected in the Ulundi conference in 2019 is the legitimate leadership of the NFP right now. Therefore, we'll be saying to the IEC, this is the leadership as per the court ruling, and accept it as the leadership of the NFP, then allow us to contest the elections. We cannot allow a situation where a political party that has got a national footprint, like the NFP, loses the opportunity to contest next year's election. And it would be unfair, it would be unjust to the majority of the members of the coalition. Therefore, we'll be saying to the IEC, this is the leadership, accept it, allow us to contest the elections, because that's what they want. They wanted the leadership that is legitimate. This is the legitimate leadership of the NFP. Therefore, we'll be saying, allow us then the opportunity to contest next year's elections, because we are of the view that now that this issue has been resolved and everything else must go back to normal.
Obviously, the disgruntled or the other faction might challenge the court judgment. But moving forward, you've also presented a stance on the issue of the Chief Justice of South Africa, Judge Raymond Zondo. What is at the core of your dissatisfaction with the Chief Justice?
We are hoping that no one is going to appeal or challenge the Friday's ruling. I mean, we are not expecting anyone to appeal the appeal. It has never been done before, whether it's legal or not, but we're hoping that no one is going to challenge that. They've got the right to go to court, obviously, if they are not happy. The constitution of this country allows anybody to seek justice in court if they are not happy with something. We are therefore hoping that they are not going to take that route. Instead, they will come to us, we will engage until we find each other. We must indicate that we are gravely concerned about some utterances by the Chief Justice when he was being interviewed, I think, on the very same TV channel, where he created an impression to some of us that he seems to be putting pressure on the NPA to charge or to make sure that former President Jacob Zuma is arrested. To us, we are therefore feeling that Chief Justice Raymond Zondo is entering into politics, and I think that is very dangerous for our constitution, because we are not expecting judges to comment on any issues that are related to politics. We want judges to be independent, impartial, and our view is that such comments need to be probed. We are of the view that Chief Justice must be investigated by a body that is qualified to do so, and so that he can clarify this issue, because now this cloud hanging over such an important office as the Office of Chief Justice is creating a particular impression to the people of this country, and it is a danger to our society, it is a danger to the constitution of this country, and we are hoping that this matter will receive an urgent attention that it desired, so that Chief Justice can explain himself what exactly he meant by his words, because right now we've got a political party that has used the photo or the picture of the Deputy Chief Justice in its posters. And the President has been said, we cannot come here and condemn that political party, because the President has been set, Chief Justice has allowed that to happen, and it will not be surprising then to see other political parties like ourselves knocking on the offices of the Chief Justice looking for votes and membership, because it is clear now that that office is available for anyone to go and campaign, and we are going to do so.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, that is the Secretary General of the NFP, ventilating issues of concern that the party has. With that, it's back to you in studio.
Ntando Mnyandu, thank you very much for that update.